Today, we have the privilege to be talking to Richie Love. Yes, that Richie Love, the Saxiest Man Alive. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to this. So, I'm going to dive directly into it. My first question is, how did growing up surrounded by such an accomplished musician as your father, and presumably at one point or another by all the people he played with, how did that shape your own musical approach and your choice of instrument?
Well, I tell you, it was just such a fabulous and amazing spirit. And it was just like something other than, it was quite amazing. It just kind of like almost I guess it was normal in a way for us because we were around it, but it was still amazing to see, to go with my father and like see Marvin Gaye perform and him and be in his dressing room. And he called me Little Love. And
Oh, Little Love. I love that.
yeah. And so, to be around that. And then the Jackson Five, my dad also, when Motown would go on tour on the West Coast, and they'd have the big bus, that all the artists would be on the bus. So there would be maybe a time where it'd be 2 or 3 days where they didn't need the bus before it went back to wherever they were. I don't know if they can't remember if they bought it from Detroit or whether it was a bus. It was probably a bus. It could be a bus that was out there or that they bought from Detroit anyway. My dad would take and bring the bus to our house and park it outside our house in Los Angeles. I'm talking about a big tour bus. And he would park it outside the house, and all the neighborhood kids, we'd all get on the bus and act like we were Motown. We'd take turns like being the driver. And we'd get back on there singing. We'd sing all the Motown songs, and it was the most fun. And he did that a lot. It was the most fun. Oh my God.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Yeah. So, growing up, that kind of stuff, like a lot of like limos and stuff would pull up and stuff, quite a few. And this was my birthday one year, and a limo pulls up. So we all go, "Oh boy, who's that? Who's that? Oh, this is my birthday." All the neighborhoods there, and my family, and they said, "Who's getting out? Who's going to be getting out the limo?" And it was Stevie Wonder. He came to my birthday party, and I was like, "Oh man!" Well, we had been around Stevie a lot, so it wasn't like, we didn't know him. You know what I mean? But it was just wonderful that he came for my birthday party. And Edwin Starr, who was one of my favorite records, was "War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing." And, yeah, he would come by all the time. Him and my dad they were close. They were tight. So, all the time it was Motown people. It was people coming by the house all the time. The Miracles and Glass Night, and just, it was, and so, and then I'd go to the concerts all the time. My father would take us, me and my brother, we'd go more. He wouldn't take my sister very much, but he would take me and my brother all the time. And we'd go, and we kind of knew everybody. And so it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. And so just being around that, you never forget that when you're young. You can't help but influence you because you're young and this is exciting. And then they'd come over, and then you turn on the radio and they're playing on the radio. Like Edwin Starr, he just left the house, and then you turn on the radio and there's Edwin Starr singing.
I'm happy. I'm asking the questions. Otherwise, my mouth will stay open. I think my jaw just dropped and stayed there for a while. Oh my goodness! I never thought I could envy somebody. Now you've just, oh my goodness, and you've just said all the names that you know really do it for me. Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder. Oh, the wonder of Stevie Wonder.
It was amazing.
Oh, you must have been such a happy child.
I remember one time, it was really a funny story. Motown was on tour in Los Angeles, and the Supremes, their trunk of wigs, I think they had finished the tour, and they needed to store their trunk of wigs and dresses, all their outfits, everything, their stage stuff, everything. And so they bought it. My dad bought it home and put this big giant trunk in our living room. And so my mom and sister, they go, "What's that?" And he goes, "That's the Supremes stuff." And so my mom and sister go, "Oh my God." So they open it up and they're putting on the wigs and the dresses and they're going singing and they're singing for me, brother.
Of course, that is actually the most normal reaction for anyone. I would do that. I would definitely do that. And I don't like wigs. I would do that.
Yeah, you that.
Amazing. Many jazz artists, before you refer the masters who came before them. And when I listen to your music, I can see a little bit of that. I can hear your touch. I can see that you have this thing about combining the before and kind of the after that you bring. But are there specific players from previous generations whose influence you feel most acutely in your own playing, beyond your father, of course?
Well, yes. I'll tell you, there was a great saxophonist by the name of Clifford Solomon. And he was Ray Charles's saxophonist for many years, alto saxophone. He was a very, very good, close friend of my father's. In fact, he gave us me and my brother, our first sax lessons, Clifford Solomon. And he also did a whole lot of sax work on my father's album, Omaha Barbecue. And Clifford Solomon was one of the most soulful players, alto players, unsung. So many Black artists were unsung, but he was one of them. He was just most soulful. If you ever have a chance to listen to my father's Preston Love, Omaha Barbecue, it's a cult classic now. And he influenced me because of his soul. And he still does. I still listen to him. I still listen to Clifford Solomon and gain knowledge and soul from him because my roots are jazz, but I love soul, R&B, and funk. And that is a true love of mine. I love playing all kinds of music, and I have roots in all kinds of music, but soul and funk, they touch me. And so soulful saxophonists like Grover Washington and Hank Crawford and Clifford Solomon and Louis Jordan. Louis Jordan is old school. Louis Jordan was one of the funkiest. He had a style. He's pretty well known. Louis Jordan, I still call him unsung because they should be household names. It shouldn't be. Everybody should know the name Louis Jordan. Everybody should know the name Grover Washington, Clifford Solomon, Hank Crawford. They should know that. If they are in music and saxophonists, they should know it. But sometimes we get, as Black artists, we are suppressed. But they were some of my greatest influences for saxophone-wise. And I always talk about music-wise and show-wise, doing shows, seeing R&B shows were all of the great, because I'm also about show. My shows, I love to put on a good show. When I perform, I want a show. I don't want people coming and they go, "Yeah, that was fun." No, I want people to go, "Yeah,
yeah,
I want to go see that again." I want to do that again. And when I was in Los Angeles, and me and Unsung, who's still with me, and we are still together, and she is going to do some stuff on the new CD. Her name is Jeannie Holiday, and she is fantastic, this most fantastic singer. She has 6 octaves. And she told me recently, wow. She said, "I just found 2 more octaves I didn't know I had." And we've been together. We were in Los Angeles performing all around Los Angeles. We were a great team. I think we still are. So somebody saw us recently in concert. I did a show for Omaha, Nebraska. And they said, "Oh, you guys are like Peaches and Herb." Oh my God! Like we go when we go with her and the sax, and she hits these notes. Oh my God! It's just her octaves are just amazing. Anyway, we were performing in Los Angeles, and Jeannie, she just, oh my God, she just we'd have magicians, comedians, we'd have talent shows and stuff. And so I just really, that really did it for me. I fell in love with that. And so I always, if I have the budget, I always try to have some kind of comedian or something with it. It just, a show is a show. Doesn't want to have a
Wow.
fun
Oh,
show,
wow.
It's like
Yeah.
making a night of,
Comprehensive show. Yeah.
yeah. So, and I've always loved magic since I was a little kid. So, magic, if I could get a magician on there, oh boy, I sit back. A lot of times I go and sit in the audience and watch the show myself because
I'll be
I'm
honest. I'll be
I'm a
honest.
big kid.
I think the way the way you turn your imagination into waves is magic. You know, people when they listen to and you have such an energy to your music. All these little touches of magic. Maybe you might be taking them for granted because they come from you, but the people who are listening, they can hear the magic. I don't think they need a magician, a little bit on the nose. They need like subtle magic, like music does, like you do. No, this is, yeah, it's amazing. Wow. One of the things I wondered, I was listening to come back and I was thinking, how do you manage? So when I'm listening to it, I can really hear the tradition behind, but I can also hear you like your own unique vocal, musical voice. So how do you manage to do both, to honor the traditions of jazz with forging your own unique musical voice? How do you do that?
Well, I always loved to sing. I remember when I was very young and Motown, been around Motown, and Michael Jackson, he was, very close to my age. And so when they came out, I sang anyway, though. I used to sing when I was a kid. Then one of my neighbors, we would go to the little parties sometime the grown-ups would have, and we'd sing. Oh, we'd sing like, Baby, I'm for real. And we knew the songs, going in circles and stuff like that. And so I always loved to sing, but then, you get older and then, back in the day, if you couldn't sing, you don't get up there because people would talk about you. And so when I got older, I just kept singing, singing. And I knew I could sing a little bit. I don't call myself a great singer. I could sing a little bit, but when I got older, we were in a band in Los Angeles. They said, "Hey, we need somebody in the band to sing this song before the singer comes out." And I said, "I think I can sing it. It was always and forever." I said, "I think I can do it." And so I started singing, and the crowd started clapping. And I said, "Okay." So that really sparked me, and I said, "Okay, well, I still can sing a little bit." So I started singing more and more. And then when I moved to Omaha and I needed a vocalist, I was in between vocalists. And so I started doing all the singing. And so I did that for a long time because people liked it. And I was like, wow, people like the way I sing. So I would sing a lot and people got mad at me. My sister still gets mad at me. If I don't sing, she goes, "How come you didn't sing anything?" So I guess the encouragement, people encouraged me to sing.
Yeah.
People really liked it. People would clap, and I go, "Wow, I can sing okay." When I sang, then I started feeling like I can sing a little bit. I sang some Bobby Womack, and I sang Spinners. I sang a lot of stuff, and I love singing. I mean, a love for me. It really is a love because since I was a child, I loved singers, the great singer,
Yeah.
Dinah Washington. Oh my God! And there were so many great singers growing up.
Yeah.
You're talking about Curtis Mayfield and Dinah Washington, and oh man, you name it, all the groups, the Originals, the Dales, the Temptations, the Four Tops. You had singers, oh man, the Spinners, Smokey. You down the line, I mean, it goes on and on and on. The
Yes, it
list.
does.
People were singing. I mean, sing. People could sing in the
Excellent.
harmonies, and they would
Excellent.
touch you.
But I still think you need double the lung capacity to do both saxophonist and singing. How do you do that?
Well, I think it's just fun for me. It was a calling for me, and it came kind of natural. I was around Johnny Otis. I always missing Johnny Otis. Johnny Otis, my godfather. He discovered Etta James and many more, and he put on a show. Oh boy, and he discovered a lot of amazing talent over the years. Barbara Morrison and Charles Williams. Oh, he was so talented. Delmar Mighty Mouth Evans, the amazing Flea on trombone. His shows were R&B reviews, shows. He called it the Johnny Otis show, but it was a show and a review. And so he'd go from one great singer to the other, and saxophonist. And so that's where I kind of made my shows to be kind of like him, where I would feature artists and I'd sing, they sing, and I play saxophone, and good band. The band is kicking, and and so you get like, you go, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, hey, give the bass player some. The bass player can play. Give the drummer some. The drummer can play the guitar. Everybody is tough on their instrument. So it's like, oh man, wow, here comes the singer. Here comes me with the saxophone. I sing a little bit. Then boom, 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 boom. Oh, I got a comedian for you.
Oh, baby, if you just needed a change, I still wanna be your man. Oh, baby, come back to me.
You do a lot of improv, don't you? I just wanted to know if you have any little particular collaboration that you remember, kind of memorable collaboration where the music took you and your fellow musicians to unexpected places.
Well, one of the most memorable collaborations was Buddy Miles. And I don't know if you know Buddy Miles, but Buddy Miles played with Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies. Andre Lewis, who put several albums out. He had a contract with Motown, put several albums out. One of the greatest and most talented pianist, keyboard I've ever met in my life. Buddy Miles is a famous and amazing vocalist, guitarist, and drummer. He made his name in drums in the beginning. So Buddy and Andre came to Omaha when I had moved back, and I had them both in my band. And that was amazing because I grew up watching them and loving them and being highly influenced by both of them. And so for them to come and be in my band and playing with me, and me to have arrived at that level of music, and just to be with them, and Andre and me did some music together. That was quite a collaboration. And then Shuggie Otis, who wrote Strawberry Letter 23, and Buddy called me and asked me if I would be in charge of his orchestra, put the band together for a big blues concert in Omaha. And he said, I want you to do it because you handle business and you take care of business. Everybody knows you. You got the whole thing, boom, boom, boom. I was kind of like, in a way, I would put everything together. I could put things together because I watched my dad. My dad and Johnny, they were like, my dad was really business. He was about business. On time, dressed nice. This is a professional business and show, and I don't run it any other way. And he would get on me if I slipped. He would tell me, hey, aren't you supposed to be at the show right now? Well, I thought it started at 8:00. I'm running my own band, And so that was great though. I didn't mind at all. And I say, yes, I'm on my way right now. I'm a grown man, He's like, I'm going right now. And because it was great, to
the
have
love of music.
Yeah. And so anyway, I got Shuggy Otis, Buddy Miles for that show. I got Shuggy Otis and put them together. That's two legends, Buddy Miles and Shuggy Otis. That's like huge, humongous. And I don't even think that people knew who was really on that stage. They knew Buddy, but to have them both on that stage, I have recently discovered I have a videotape of that concert. So that was one of my greatest collaborations, biggest and greatest collaborations was Buddy Miles, Shuggy Otis, Andre Lewis, pulling all these people together and having them in the band and taking them places and performing and doing things. That was really something for me.
Gosh, it sounds amazing. It sounds, there's another interview where you say that music is not hard to learn. So you're a teacher. I really much want. I was thinking by the end of this interview, I'll probably ask you to teach me, because the way that you approach music for yourself and for others, as audience and as artists, the way that you talk about it and you create it and you think through it makes it so much more accessible. Generally, people who are experts in things tend to want other people to understand how difficult what they do is, to give themselves importance. But what you're trying to do, it seems to me that you're trying to make sure that everybody feels that music is accessible to anyone. I find that amazing. I really do. I think we definitely need more teachers like you. But I was wondering, what made you think, oh, I'll teach this, beyond just performance?
I think beyond performing, I do artwork because of my mom. My mom was an amazing artist. She was amazing and fantastic. And so I got my art from my mom. I got my music from my dad. So that's one of the things that I do mostly is art, painting, and music is just consumes me. So music is a lot of my mental space is filled up by music and art. And that's one because it's the arts. So it's like music and arts. And I always say love. I try to spread love because we need it bad in the world. And kids, if I can help children, that's a big thing for me. I've done that for a long time now in my life. I've tried to help young people and try to give them some guidance. And I've really found out how many lives I influence and how many people that I've helped in my lifetime. And I have such a great sense of accomplishment from that I helped these kids. It just came to me. It was just a natural thing that was given to me, and I didn't have just flowed like some songs do through me. It was like, that was just natural for me to say, hey, oh boy, you're talented. Come on here. I want to help you. And I want to give you this knowledge. And this is you are talented. You need this. Let me show you this. Here, take this with you in all kinds of aspects, contracts, not just the music, contracts, the understanding of the music business, everything. And that's what my mentees took with them, is they took with them a lot. Not just writing songs, getting your copyrights, understanding contracts, because they will get you. That's the worst thing in the world. And that's why when I watched the New Edition story, and I said, that is the worst thing. Some people are evil because those kids were so talented and those people were just taking advantage of them like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. And so that's what I tried to teach my kids, because a lot of them were kids. And that's what I tried to teach them is like, don't sign this. If you see this word, don't sign it. And if you look it over, you have a lawyer look it over. But if you look at it and read it yourself, you're going to have some understanding. You're going to know if these people are trying to get you or not just by looking at it yourself. And that's what a lot of them got too. It's like, my one rapper, Dismos from Compton, Suge Knight, bought him a contract and he was like, oh, no, he told me. It's like, he looked like, oh, no. Richie showed me this. He's like, oh, no. I'm not sending this. And so, that's really important. So, and he's doing great. Sherman in Omaha, aka Espionage, he has his own record label, and he is really doing good. And Dismos is doing wonderful, and so many of my artists, they're just doing wonderful. They stated music, and it makes me so proud. It just makes me proud.
Can imagine. I think I'm gonna pass you a personal phone call just to to be your mentee, because seriously, with everything that has kind of touched you, and the way that you've processed it, and you've given back. Well, I can imagine a lot of people around you are very blessed indeed. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time. I have one more question for you. I could actually stay all night. The only thing that's deterring me is the time it is at night here. But I am just really, really extremely grateful for your time and everything that you've shared. In Africa, they say when an older person passes away, a library burns. But I can see how your library is huge and you're not even at the end of what you're doing. And I can see how it can grow even more. It's both really exciting and a little scary. And I don't know, I could really spend hours just. I can feel that every single little question will just unlock a whole set of shelves and everything. So I really have to come back to you, hopefully another time with even more questions. But for now, a last one would be looking back at your career so far, what has been the most significant moment of growth or artistic breakthrough for you? I was thinking that, for example, you worked with quite a lot of different people. There are a lot of contemporary genres and new ways of jazz and things like that. So I was wondering, in everything you've learned, and everything new and everything old, what has been the most significant moment where you felt like that has really truly changed something in you and in the way that you're approaching music?
I think that when I had a studio in Los Angeles and I was writing, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I got the best studio I could, and I started writing. I got a little piano, and I start listening. I said, "Oh, that's what I'm trying to do right there." And I let a couple of my closest friends hear the stuff, and I want to remember the one guy said, I really looked up to them, and if they said then I would have gone okay. But he said, "Oh, that right there, that's it. That's a hit. You've touched on it there." And I said, "Oh boy, if I got him like that, then I know that I'm in." I could hear it myself, but you always need validation. Yeah. I think. Sometimes you need validation. Sometimes you just go, "I know this is good." I'm like, if they don't like it, okay, but I like it. Like now, I go, like with my song "Come Back," it's like I really love that song. I think that song I love it. And then my new single that's coming out, "Better Love," and I have one of the greatest singers on there. I reached back and got another singer that I kind of mentored in Omaha, and I've been knowing him over 35 years. And I reached back and I said, "You need to sing this song." He co-wrote it with me. And he said, "I'd have to think about it." I said, "God, you do what you feel you got to do, but please."
Who is this?
So, yeah.
Who is this?
His name is Lawrence Tyler, and he is fantastic, most amazing, soulful, amazing writer and singer. And so he's singing the new song, the new single, "Better Love." So I'm really excited about that. But I was about the breakthrough, the little breakthroughs like that where certain people that I really respected when I was trying so hard to do this. And people go, oh man, that's it right there. And so I just kept that really just sparked, kept it going, kept me going. Saxophone wise, Lomi Washburn, who wrote gold and platinum records for Chaka Khan, she was an amazing vocalist and songwriter, composer. And she one day told me, I heard you on somebody played a recording and I heard some saxophone come on. She said, that's Richie Love. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, I know you're playing anywhere. Then I knew then, I said, oh man, if she says that, Lomi's been all over the world. Lomi's been with Ray Charles and Chaka and wrote for Chaka. And somebody I really respected and asked her to show me about songwriting as well as one of my songwriting mentors. And so that was a breakthrough for me. I've had a lot of breakthroughs from the people some big people, that's when it's a breakthrough to me.
That is incredible. That really, really is. I have to thank you for the song. That was come back. But I can't wait to hear Better Love now. Now that you've spoken about it, all I heard was that the album was coming soon, but now I'm hearing about the new single, Better Love, and that's all I want to listen to now. When is it coming out? When is it coming out? No pressure.
Yeah. It will be out in August.
August. Okay.
Yes.
I'll make an exception and wait. Don't hesitate to share it with us. It will be a real pleasure, seriously.
It has been the greatest pleasure. Oh, I hope we do it again soon.
Yes, I hope so. Thank you so much. Seriously, you're like an encyclopedia. That's what you are. Like multiple encyclopedias. You're building your own library right there in your mind. And oh goodness, have to find some kind of way to, you know, kidnap you from music for a few days so that you can write the amount of things that the experience you've had, the things you create, the people whose life you change just by talking to them, just by making music accessible to them, just by empowering them. It's just
well, I hope to continue to pump out this good music and make people happy, make people sing, make people love, feel good in their heart, love in their soul. And again, I want to thank you so much. You're so wonderful and you're just a beautiful spirit. And I've enjoyed it so much. And I look forward to us continuing our friendship and correspondence. And thank you so much for having me and taking your time and all your beautiful words that you have spoken. And I look forward to meeting you in person too.
Well, we'll see. I'd love that too, to be honest. But yes. When are you coming to the UK?
Well, we hope to be setting up some tours as soon as I can finish up all of the music and get it done. And when I'm done with that, then I'm ready.
Yes, please let us know. There's some
Packing my bag.
lovers here who will be really, really excited to know you're coming. So thank you again.
You too, and thank you again.
Thank you again. Take care.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.